Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Yuma Center for Spiritual Living. I'm Reverend Rebecca Kay, and I'm so glad you could join me for my daily spiritual practice. On Friday, I always have a word for the week for you that's been bubbling up for me. And as I announced last week, I went to a bridal shower on the East Coast last weekend. And I think maybe that's why this word came up for me this week because I had an opportunity to truly practice this word. Our word for the week is listening. And the meaning of the word listening is to take notice of and to make an effort to hear. So, our reading this morning is from the Women's Book of Joy by Eileen Campbell. And it's entitled Listening and Communicating with Kindness. Relating requires that we genuinely listen to people and communicate with kindness. Listening is an art, almost a mindful practice in itself. Too often, we're poor listeners, reluctant to give our full attention. Oftentimes, we're preoccupied with our own thoughts, or we feel we haven't time to engage in conversation and must just get on with the next thing on our to-do list. Or if we're half listening to the person speaking, we're already thinking about our response. Or we interrupt rather than let them finish what they're saying. We're so self-absorbed generally that we deprive ourselves of the opportunity to experience those micro moments of connection. Sometimes we agree with the person talking because we want to be liked. We don't want to get into an argument. But whether in our interpersonal relationships, at home, or the workplace, it's important to speak. Although mindful of respecting the other person in a manner that reflects how we feel. If we will withhold our truth, we're not being our authentic selves. And as a result, we're likely to feel resentful. When we speak, it's not just our words that matter, but also our tone of voice, our facial expressions, and our body language. We need to choose our words consciously, aware of our eye contact and our gestures. Essentially, we need to slow down and speak from our feelings. To do this, we have to be comfortable with the silence too. Silence is an integral part of the rhythm of conversation. If we give our full attention to listening and pause before we reply, we're more likely to be in tune with both the spoken and unspoken messages being communicated. Wow. So our affirmation for this morning is, I listen with my full attention. So let's just get comfortable. Open up. Prepare to connect to our true selves, that divinity within. Close our eyes. Take a deep breath in. Let it out with a sigh. And just set the intention to connect to our true selves. And right here, right now, in this moment, I invite you to declare that you are ready to listen, to listen with your full intention to that still small voice within, to your higher self as it speaks to you. Drop down into your heart. Just notice how good it feels to just be in this space filled with your divine light, connected to your higher self, open, willing, and ready, declaring, I listen with my full intention. We have stepped into high consciousness, that place where we prepare our minds to accept the best that life has to offer, to listen with full intention to the still, small voice within. To just sit in the silence. Feel yourself being recharged, revitalized, invigorated, filled with joy. Releasing all that's no longer serving you. Creating space for your true self. Greater expansion and greater connection. I invite you to let the still small voice speak loudly as you listen with your full intention. I have the courage to express my feelings. I pay attention to both what I say and how I say it. I listen with my full attention. I have the courage to express my feelings. I pay attention both to what I say and how I say it. I listen with my full attention. I have the courage to express my feelings. I pay attention both to what I say and how I say it. I listen with my full attention. Today, I choose my words consciously. I have the courage to express my feelings. I pay attention to both what I say and how I say it. I listen with my full attention. And so, as our journey comes to a close, I invite you to declare with me, today, I choose my words consciously. I have the courage to express my feelings. I pay attention to both what I say and how I say it. I listen with my full attention. I invite you back into this time and space, into this room. And I thank you for being a light in the world. I thank you for taking the time to connect to your higher self, to add new meaning and new awareness to your life through a daily spiritual practice. I thank you for taking the time to improve the way you listen, to be aware of how important it is in relationships. I'm Reverend Rebecca Kay here at the Yuma Center for Spiritual Living. I send you much love and many blessings, and I'll see you next Wednesday with some points to ponder. Have a great weekend. Thanks for joining me.